Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about tunnel construction right in the open pit mine. So stay tuned. We are here at the Copper King Mine and Railroad today, and we're looking at the tunnels here on the layout. I think I have 16 tunnels on this layout. But today's video is about the tunnel construction in the pit or the mine itself, the Bingham Canyon. They had 3 large train tunnels they built over the years in the pit. And that was to keep the ore moving downhill. It's really interesting to see some of these great pictures of this construction of these tunnels. Most of these pictures are from the Larry Sachs collection. I went and scanned them for him, and it's great that he has these. These were being discarded in the 1980s, and he saved them all from being thrown away. So we're going to just take a minute here at the Copper King Mine and look at the tunnels here. Then we're going to head up to Bingham and see the tunnels and the tunnel construction at Bingham Canyon Mine. Tunnel construction. We're talking about tunnel construction today. Well, the tunnels in the pit anyway. In these photos, it's hard to see where they're at in the vastness of the mine. So I put some red dots just above them. The first one is 1974, and then the next one is 1976. You can see all 3 tunnels in the mine. Now, they built 3 railroad tunnels over a period of time. This was to keep the ore moving downhill instead of pulling it up out of the pit as it grew. The tunnels were the 60-40 tunnel, the 58-40 tunnel, and the 54-90 tunnel. We have some great pictures of these pictures of their building them and construction on them. And then just over time, they were named after the elevation they were in the mine, so that's why the numbers. They were also built with a small downhill grade inside the tunnels. That helped also with it. This 1974 diagram shows all 3 tunnels. Note the long one right there, the 5490 tunnel, goes all the way to Copperton. The first tunnel was the 6040 tunnel. Work on the 64 tunnel began January 10th, 1944. It was 4,600 feet long, 18 feet wide, and 22 feet high. The cost was $1,222,000. Here's some great inside pictures of that 6040 tunnel. These pictures were taken in July 1945. Now, a lot of these pictures are from the Larry Sachs collection. Here's a couple of nice panoramic views of the exit portal. And it came out just over the little town of Frogtown. And here's a close-up of that. Isn't that a grand picture? Then here's 2 pictures of the exit as they was working on it. So here's what it looked like in the mine. So here's some like postcards they actually made of this 6040 tunnel. So different angles and different views of that tunnel. As you can see, the mine isn't very deep. The pit isn't very deep right now. Of course, they had to remove the mountain to get to this point. So Utah Construction Company completed the job February 4th, 1946. There's quite a few pictures of this 6040 tunnel, so I'll just keep showing them right here. Now, the levels were made back then 50 feet on each level. As you can see in this picture, the mine's getting deeper than 6040, so they needed another tunnel. And then here's a few more around the little town of Frogtown. You can see the town, and it's growing. To the right, there's the 6040 tunnel. Now, the 5840 tunnel will also come out here, and so that's the next one. Here's the later picture, 1965, of the exit portal on the 6040 tunnel, and then here's another picture of that exit, and you can see the town below. The next tunnel was the 5840 tunnel, and it's starting being driven April 9th, 1951. It was 7,042 feet long, 21 feet wide, and 25 feet tall. So look at these great construction pictures of this tunnel. Look at this scaffolding, this platform they've got in there, the multi-level, so they can work at different elevations, different heights at the same time. I think these are some great pictures inside the tunnel there. You see they're just using mining, it looks like mining equipment in there. Then here's the exit portal. You can see a batching plant for the cement right there. They make their own cement. So that's some neat pictures. Drilling ended August 30th, 1952. Track laying began January and was completed March 1953. The first ore train came through March 26, 1953. So this is also interesting. The tunnel was driven 50 feet below the bottom of where the pit was. So it was necessary to dig down to meet it. So these two pictures show the trench or the cut to meet up with that tunnel down there. Now we have quite a few pictures of the 5840 tunnel also. You can see both tunnels here, the 6040 and the 5840 tunnel. These first pictures, well, I guess in most of them. When we worked on the track gang, we used this 5840 tunnel a lot. We parked at Central Yard and then we rode the train, the coach through this tunnel when we worked in the lower part of the mine. Here's some great color pictures of the mine. You can just barely see where that tunnel is in some of these pictures. Then these last two pictures, you can see the mine's getting deeper again, and so another tunnel was needed. The third and last tunnel was the 5490 tunnel. Started drilling October 30th, 1956. It was 18,000 feet long, so over 3 miles long, 18 feet wide, and 24 feet tall. The cost on this one was $12 million, and it was completed March 1959. So here's some more great inside construction pictures of this tunnel. Most of these were taken February 3rd, 1957. Then we have some June 1957. Then actually some 1958 pictures of the tunnel. Look at this one. Look how much water's in the tunnel right there. And the exit portal, this was taken January 7th, 1957, these two pictures. Then you can see this July 30th, 1957, they've cemented around the exit portal. Now this tunnel was 150 feet below the current bottom of the level. This is a magazine diagram to show you what it looked like. So the bottom of the pit, and they had to drill down 150 feet to meet up with it. And so they did this spiral cut to get down to it. In 1960, Morrison Knutson began construction on a spiral cut to reach the tunnel. The cut was 3,600 feet long with the downhill grade of 4%. May 7th, 1961, the first ore train will enter the tunnel. Now this is interesting. A large portion of the 5490 tunnel went through the ground, the property owned by United States Smelting Refining Mining Company. So when pockets of ore were found, it was shipped to their smelter. Now look at this neat picture. You can see this loading station right here, and they're dumping it into ore cars. So some of the material they was pulling out of that tunnel was good ore. And we got some pictures of the 5490 tunnel in the mine, 1971, 1972, and 1976. And nice color picture of the mine and the tunnels right there. March 1985, the 5940 tunnel will be home of the new conveyor belt. The conveyor belt system is 5 miles long, from an in-pit crusher to the new Copperton Mill. It will be put into operation January 1988. So here's some pictures of that conveyor belt coming out of the 5490 tunnel exit. Note on this one, the ore train's still running, and they'll keep that train running until the early 2000s. Neat panoramic view of that conveyor belt right there going over to the mill. This picture right here is from James Belmont, and it tells the whole story. There's the new Copperton Mill in the background, and an ore train with that belt and that mill will replace eventually. One last note, in the year 2020, they'll be moving the conveyor belt out of the 5490 tunnel. So here's a picture of the new route it's going to be taken down this mountainside right here. And that's where the canyon used to be. And they're also going to move the in-pit crusher to 6190 yard. So that's the train tunnels at Bingham Canyon Mine.